Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about all things wolves with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So that is the enemy faction that we're going to be facing in the game itself, led by no one other than Cole D. Walker, your ex-brother-in-arms. So in today's video, we're going to be going down through some of the wolf lieutenants that we're going to be facing in the game itself, as well as checking out some of these Behemoth defense arenas that we actually got teased at E3. We're going to be going down, breaking down that, as well as some of the military drones that we're going to be taking on in the game itself. Some of these are pretty crazy and they're going to be very tough. Think similar to some of the stuff that we actually saw in Tom Clancy's The Division, just based on an aesthetic standpoint. Not a super crazy bullet sponging aspect, guys. Don't get too crazy on me here. It's still a tactical shooter at heart. For those of you guys that are freaking out about bullet sponges, it'll be okay. It'll be okay, I promise. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video. So the first thing that I'm actually going to touch on before we get too in-depth with the video today is, obviously, we know Cole Walker was our ex-brother-in-arms. You play alongside him in Operation Oracle DLC in Ghost Recon Wildlands. So they did go on to say that while we are playing through Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we're going to be discovering why Walker turned against the Ghosts and created the Wolf faction on the island of Aroa. And I believe there's going to be some flashback missions, or at least some flashback cutscenes that we're going to be seeing. I'm going to be touching more on base with that in a separate video, but I believe it's going to be a big part of the actual story itself. So obviously Walker is not going to be working alone on the island of Aroa. He's going to have the elite wolf lieutenants at his side. So the four lieutenants that we're actually talking about is Rosebud, Silverback, Flycatcher, and Yellowleg. These are basically all four lieutenants that we got confirmed at E3. Will there be more? It's possible there will be more. It's possible we're going to get more lieutenants and stuff like that in DLC, but these enemies will prove to be some of your fiercest and most resourceful opponents, second only to Walker himself. So eventually at some point we're probably going to take on Walker, and it's probably going to be the toughest battle of any battle in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but each wolf lieutenant has a unique deadly skill set that will present a considerable challenge to even the toughest ghost. So depending on which lieutenant you take on, I'm assuming it's going to be similar to how taking down some of the bosses were in Ghost Recon Wildlands. When you go up against one of these wolf lieutenants, each of them is going to be different. They're going to have their own sort of style. They're going to have their own skill set that's going to present obviously a crazy difficult encounter when you actually take on these lieutenants. So me personally, that sounds really exciting, that each one of these lieutenants that we're going to take on is going to have its own little thing. It's going to be different. It's not going to feel like the same thing over and over again. So actually in one of the E3 demos, players were actually able to meet Flycatcher and get a small taste of what his drones can do. So this is going to be one that you're going to be going up against, that he's going to basically attack, send drones out, try to attack you with these drones so he doesn't have to do the dirty work himself. Now moving on to the Behemoth defense arenas. So these are going to be very interesting. I'm curious to see how these are going to play out. So they say that you're going to be able to encounter a brand new type of enemy in the Behemoth defense arenas. So Behemoth defense arenas are critical communication relays that are protected night and day by drone control stations. And these are manned by the strongest drones available to the wolves, the Behemoth. So here is actually a screenshot of the Behemoth. We actually got to see some gameplay of this in a few different videos from some other content creators and stuff that actually got flown out to E3 to record some footage. But fighting a Behemoth drone will require strength and strategy for even the ghosts. Rocket launchers and EMP grenades are the two tools that players might want to employ when attacking these drones, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to be tackled in a solo playthrough, because I actually saw a few different people talking about this that got hands-on with the game itself over at E3, and they said that it was insanely tough to take down with a four-man group, let alone they had no chance to actually play solo. So is this even going to be possible playing solo, or are you going to have some sort of, AI drones and stuff like that to kind of help with that, or are you going to be required to have AI teammates playing with you to take down these big drones? Only time will tell. Now moving on to talk about some of the military drones that we're going to be going up against in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The wolves are going to be utilizing the Skeltech military drones to aid their cause. Obviously we saw this in multiple trailers as well as the reveal livestream. So actually during the E3 demo, players were able to see three types of new military drones in action in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So the first one is the Ezreal Drone. So the Ezreal is designed to scan the world from the sky, so it can send a patrol of wolves to a location if it spots any threats. Well, you actually got to see this in the reveal livestream. I believe this was the drone that kind of flew overhead that sort of looked like a predator drone, and it basically, you get a notification on screen that there's one in the area, and that basically means that you have to take cover, because if it spots you, it's going to call all sorts of backup to come and take you down, because obviously it's going to spot you from the sky. Next is the Malthus Drone. So the Malthus is a search and destroy machine that can fly up to any position to take down a threat. This one sounds like it's going to be like all up in your face, pretty crazy, pretty scary. I believe this was actually what we got to see in the original IGN footage that they put up before E3. I believe those drones that we saw in that gameplay were actually Malthus drones. And then last but not least, we have the Andrus drone. So the Andrus is a bulky ground drone that can be heavily armed and armored. You need to find its weak points to destroy it quickly. So I believe these are going to be smaller tank drones, similar to what we actually saw in the reveal live stream that actually downed one of the characters. I believe that's going to be the drone that we're going to be talking about with the Andrus drone. And all combined, these drones are going to be insanely hard to actually go up against, because for those of you guys out there, like I said earlier in the video, that are concerned about bullet tanking and stuff like that, when you go up against human enemies, it's not going to be a thing. Even the big heavies go down with a low amount of bullets, but when you're going up against some of these military drones and stuff like that, it's going to take a little bit more bullets. It's not from a bullet sponging aspect. They're made of metal, they don't bleed, so they're obviously going to take more bullets and explosives and stuff to take down. So that's just common sense. So don't think of it as a bullet sponge aspect. Think of it more along the lines of it's going to take a lot more bullets to take down, similar to how, like we talked about yesterday's video with the Terminator DLC. The Terminator, you shot the crap out of him, he didn't die. The drones are going to be similar to that. Obviously they're going to have more armor, they're made of metal and machinery, they don't bleed, so they're obviously going to take more bullets, but it's not from a bullet sponge aspect. So for the most part, I'm really looking forward to seeing on how the drones and everything are going to be working in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, as well as some of these Wolf Lieutenants sound absolutely badass, and being the fact that each of them are going to present a different set of challenges when you actually go and take them on, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out throughout the game of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. But that is all for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys are excited about taking on the Wolves in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, make sure to drop a like on the video. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all Ghost Recon content over the next few weeks moving forward. I've mentioned this in several other video guys, but more than 85% of you guys that actually watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you guys enjoy the content, you guys want to see more content on the channel moving forward, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all content moving forward. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.